Hey guys, welcome to the Fast Lane Truck. My name is Tommy and today we are talking about our F-250, our new 7.3 liter F-250 to be exact. And we're going over why I think that this is the best trim of the Super Duty lineup, the XLT. It gives you the most value, it gives you a lot of bang for buck, and it doesn't give you anything you really don't need. So we're gonna go over some of the pricing on this truck, we're gonna show some of the cool features on this truck, and talk about why this exact trim is the one you may want to consider buying. So in the F-250 lineup for 2020, there are a bunch of trims ranging from XL to XLT to Lariat to King Ranch. There's the Platinums and the Limiteds. There's just a lot of different variations and they all come with different options as you head up the line. Now they can start fairly affordably with the XL and the XLTs and go well over $80,000 for the Limiteds, the Platinums, depending on options. So this is definitely on the lower end of the Ford lineup, and the XLT is one step above the XL, and it gives you a lot of important options that you definitely want to consider. So I'm a big fan of basic stripped down trucks. I don't need a lot of the fancy options, the fancy leathers or the keyless starts that so many of the high-end trucks have. So the XLT is a great choice for someone that wants a truck that looks a little bit premium but doesn't have a lot of the somewhat unnecessary luxuries for a somewhat base model truck. Now over the XL, you get a lot of huge improvements starting in the front. Now the XL really is a fleet trim. This whole front is basically a black plastic. It just looks very cheap, very downscale, especially for example this bumper. Now on the XLT this comes chrome, same thing with the grille, you've got a chrome grille here, but on the XL it's just dark black plastic. It doesn't look very premium. I'm personally not a huge fan of chrome, but I much prefer a shiny material to that, you know, just kind of generic black. Now this one also has the Xlt Value Package, which is another great option to buy. It's about $1,600, but it includes fog lights right here. It also includes your power adjustable pedals, backup sensors, some stuff like that, which is great to have on such a large heavy duty truck. And if we come along the side, we'll see another great benefit of buying an XLT, and that's right here. That's these wheels. So these are 18-inch wheels. They're an alloy style wheel. The XL once again comes standard with a steel wheel. It's very durable, it's going to last. But if this is kind of your everyday truck, even a truck that you drive to meet clients, for example, it's nice to have one that doesn't look like the total base model. And having these 18-inch wheels is great. It's not glammy, it's not too over the top, but it is definitely a little bit premium looking. With four-wheel drive here, we also have a manual locking hub, which is a nice touch. Coming along the side here, there's not much to distinguish the XLT from the XL. You still have the black plastic door handles here. In the rear, of course, chrome bumper, 18-inch wheels. We have an aftermarket exhaust on this. And some other goodies that we'll get into in a little bit when we take a look at the Monroney, such as the tailgate step, which pops out of the tailgate. Kind of an unnecessary option if you ask me, but a lot of guys out there do get in and out of the bed a lot, and having that step is great, especially if you have a bad back or you can't jump in the bed super easily. I understand why that's the thing. So let's hop in the driver's seat and go over some of the cool options. All right, check this out. So the XLT, just like the XL, comes with a standard key. It doesn't come with push button start. It doesn't come with automatic entry. You do have to use the key to lock and unlock it. And that is 100% totally fine with me. There's a hole in the dash. Turn it, start it. Easy. That's all you need in a truck. In my opinion, you really don't need anything fancier. So here's the final sticker price. Now, even though this is an XLT, not even a Lariat, $55,805. This is still a very expensive truck. Luckily though, it is very nicely equipped. So we're going to start out with this screen. Over the XL, you've got this 8-inch screen. It's a touchscreen system with the latest Ford Sync. It doesn't have navigation like you'd find in some of the higher end trucks, but it really doesn't need it because, let's be real, 90% of people out there are using navigation on their phone nowadays. This will do the trick. Now the standard XL doesn't have this screen. It's got a little itty bitty screen. And I know I said I'm not much into luxuries, but this is a great improvement. It's fast, it's easy to use, Bluetooth connectivity. This one also has Sirius XM radio, a number of apps. Yeah, it's much better than the standard system. It's much bigger, and in my opinion, it's a lot easier to use as well. You also notice down here, we don't have automatic climate control. Once again, not something I really think you need. It's super simple. You know, it doesn't get any easier than this. Fan speed and then temperature setting. That's all you need in a truck, in my opinion. The one thing I do wish we had was heated seats, because in Colorado it does get very cold. But that's not a big deal either, because it's got these cloth seats, and unlike leather, they do a pretty good job of keeping you nice and warm in the winter. Speaking of cloth seats, they're very comfortable. I don't believe that you need leather seats in a truck like this. They're surprisingly supportive, and they're extremely durable as well. So you're not losing much in terms of this cloth seat design. So what other options do we have on top of the XLT package? Well, you'll notice this in the middle. This is the 40/40 console seat configuration. You can, of course, get this truck with a third seat here in the middle, have almost a bench. This one doesn't have that. It's got your center console with your cup holders and a little bit of storage. And speaking of storage and connectivity, even though this might be considered the lower end of the F-250 lineup, take a look at this. A USB and a USB-C right in the front there. Super easy to get to and very easy to use. Other things you get with the XLT over the XL is in the middle here, you actually have a pretty decent little info screen. So the standard one has a itty bitty screen. I mean, really, really small. This one actually has a pretty decent system. It's bigger, it's higher resolution, shows you off-road pages, settings, trip, fuel economy, all that. And it's nice, you know, it's not massive like you'd find on some of the other high-end trucks. You know, you still have your traditional gauges, but this shows you everything you need on the upper left. Oil pressure, you've got water temp, fuel, and then transmission temperature. It's got everything you need and nothing you don't. Let's talk about the steering wheel really quick though, because in a previous video you may have noticed that we swapped this out with a leather unit. And a lot of you got upset with that, saying, you know, our hands are too babied, why do you need leather? The standard steering wheel is plastic, it's fine. I actually disagree with that. Yes, I know a plastic steering wheel is fine, it's not a bad thing. But let's be real, this is the one part of the truck you touch 100% of the time when you drive it. So it's nice to have a leather wrapped steering wheel. It's not a big deal. It's not like we're asking for triple heated seats and triple sets of heated steering wheels and autonomous driving. No, it's nice having something to hold on to that feels premium. However, this was a super easy add-on afterwards. If you guys at home are looking to do this, very simple to add on. It can be done very affordably. So once again, not a huge deal. Other things you'll notice on this truck, automatic headlights. That's great. No need to flip on the lights every time you get in the truck when it gets dark. Just put it on auto and off you go. I will say the headlights on the XLT aren't very good. They aren't standard as the LED, so you do have halogens. We did upgrade the bulbs, which made no difference. We are going to have to go to like an LED system. But once again, that's easy to do in the aftermarket. You don't necessarily need to pay for that right off the bat. Of course, you've got your cruise controls here. This is your center cluster controls, volume and advance, and then phone controls down here. So it is a well-equipped truck, guys. I mean, an XLT is going to do everything that 90% of people need. So let's take a look at some of the other options here. There's that Xlt Value Package I was talking about. That also gives you an 8-way power driver seat and the reverse sensors, which is nice. We also have the FX4 package, some running boards, back glass defrost, should be standard, but it's a $60 option. Power scope trailer tow mirrors are nice. We also have the dual alternator group and a remote start system. But you see the kind of nickel and dime you on some of this stuff, so it really does add up in the end for a total price of $50,805. It's amazing. I mean, you know, even this XLT has $8,435 worth of options on it. Of course, $2,000 of that is the 7.3 and the 10-speed, but definitely worth keeping in mind that trucks are just gotten so expensive nowadays. It really is hard for you know, the average American on an average salary to afford an HD truck like this, which is why I strongly recommend looking at the XLT and not stretching for a Lariat, because it'll give you the vast majority of what you really need. We also have lights in the mirrors, which is pretty cool. You know, it really is a nicely equipped truck. And down here, I don't know if you can see that, even power adjustments on the pedals. If you look over here on some of the nicer trims, you'd have like wood inlays. There's none of that on this truck. Do you really need wood inlays? I mean, yes, if you're living in the truck full time as, you know, a long commute, it might be nice to look at, but overall, I think this really isn't all that much less comfortable than a Platinum or a Limited, and it does just about everything you need it to do. You can get a variety of engine options in here. Look at this. This one, we have our center high mounted camera system, and we even have lane keep. This is not a tremor, but even still, hill descent control, 4 high, 4 low. We had a choice of axle options. Well, we didn't because it was brand new and we got it off the lot, but in theory you can get this in a 355 or a 430. Trailer brake controller, FX4, we've got the rear differential lock. Great truck, strongly recommend you get an XLT. Unless you really have the extra money to spend on the luxuries, save your money, put it into something else, put it into your trailer or into your toys to tow behind this rig, and just enjoy the truck for what it is, because it is well equipped even in XLT form. XL a little bit too basic for my liking, but this seems to be the sweet spot. Well guys, thanks for watching a quick tour of our 2020 Ford F-250, and head over to tfltruck.com for the latest and greatest in F-250 reviews.